Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Y'all. Thank you so much for all of my subscribers. We are almost monetized. Thank you guys for watching this content, engaging with this content, leaving me questions and comments below. I appreciate you. Today's video, we're going to talk about the mindset of a winner, the mindset of a homeowner. I have told you guys over and over that this channel exists for those of you that want to become homeowners this year or beyond, or you already owned a house and you want to stay in the know on how to maintain the property that you already own, possibly purchase new property, possibly sell, upgrade, sell, downgrade. This is a channel for those of you that want to make economic plays, and you're not going to get tricked out the bag, okay? You are not getting tricked out the bag. You're going to make educated decisions when it comes to real estate. But in order to be someone that stands amongst the rest, stand out against the rest, okay? Because if you are a homeowner, you are amongst the wealthy, okay? You definitely are amongst the wealthy. So I need you to start acting like it, because one of the saddest things ever that I come encounter with in my profession is people who own homes and they still act like they're poor. They still act like, they are on a lower economic status than what they really are on. And I think that a lot of that has to do with Stockholm syndrome. I notice it a lot when people are first-time home buyers, first-generation home buyers, or they came from a family where, it was programmed in them to live like in some type of fear or some type of scarcity mindset. So we're going to sometimes take a break from current events and focus on our mindset, okay? Y'all know one thing that I say a lot on this channel: change your mind, change your life. Change your mind, change your life. Positive thoughts, a positive life. Positive thoughts, positive life. So today's video is developing a homeowner mindset, okay? Home ownership starts in your mind before it happens in real life. Just like anything that you accomplish, okay? Home ownership is a goal for many, okay? Believing you can own a home is the first step to making it real. Like I said, there are even people, I was one of these people that suffered severely from Stockholm syndrome. The first house that I bought was a 3,800 square feet home, 450,000, 5 bedrooms. I literally had a master suite, not a master bedroom. Like, I had never lived in that level of opulence, and I created that for myself. Mind you, my parents, I'm not a first generation homeowner. My mama owned multiple properties. My stepfather owns multiple properties. My biological father owned multiple properties. So, but they never owned a house like my first house. And it took some adjustment when I moved in to finally feel comfortable, like, wow, I did this, right? And so I want you guys to understand that home ownership is a mindset, and sometimes you even have to like shake up your mood and shake up your mind and shake up your perspective, because one of the biggest factors that get people tricked up out their bag or missing opportunities or fumbling opportunities is their mindset. Okay? Because if you're going to sell a property, if you're going to sell a home, there has to be a reason, right? Sometimes economically, like the news will have us thinking that like a bunch of people are about to lose their house because they've been losing their jobs and things like that. And I'm speaking about that profusely. There are systems in place that can help you stay in your house, okay? If you have exalted all of those systems, and for whatever unforeseen circumstances, you can no longer gain employment, like you're no longer making the money, and you've done everything, you've gotten side hustles, you've applied for new jobs, you have maxed out your opportunities, and you still have a loan that needs to get paid, then yes, of course, you sell your house, you capitalize on the equity. Because remember, equity is only real based off of what the market is doing. So sometimes we do have to sell our homes. I was one of those people, but I promise you that I am not the type of agent. If you call me over to do a market analysis and you don't have a real reason to sell your house, you have no plan after selling, what are you going to do? Where are you going to live? Guys, it would be highly unethical for me to help you sell your home. If I come across someone like that, I'm going to help you figure out ways to keep your home, especially in today's market where interest rates are still very, very high. Rent is very, very high. Unless you have some type of housing voucher or you have, you're moving in with someone else, so you don't have to worry about that added expense and you really can't afford your home anymore. Okay. If that's not the situation for you, we're going to figure this thing out, and I'm going to help you keep your house, because I don't want y'all getting tricked out the bag. I've talked about this so much, and why I think it's so important to stress the importance of the mindset of home ownership is because there is an attack on your wealth. Literally, when I got back on social media after being off for 2 years, I noticed this crazy trend on TikTok the most, where people are trauma bonding over their struggle. And in that trauma bonding, I could tell just based off of the stories that some people were sharing, some folks were just selling their houses because they were being lazy and they had some type of low vibrational bad programming making them think that by selling that house, they're doing something better for themselves, when in reality, all they're doing is losing equity and going back to renting where you own nothing and then you have no security. And you're doing that with income, with the ability to pay a mortgage. That's strange to me. And I noticed that it's a problem, and I want to be on the other side of this. I want to be on the side of this conversation that gives you the ability to stop and think and reassess what you're going to do, right? So let's get into these motivational tips, okay? How to shift from renter mentality to owner mentality. Renters focus on temporary solutions. Owners build permanent wealth. Ownership creates stability, pride, and financial growth. Benefits of home ownership. You're building equity, not just paying someone else's mortgage. Fixed monthly payments. No more rising rent. Now, that is a point that I like to say is true. Your base payment, your principal payment will never change, but your mortgage can change if your taxes go up, okay? A lot of people are dealing with that. I've done videos about that. We've spoken about it, but you know, when we're comparing that factor to renting, it's no different than your landlord raising your rent, okay? If your mortgage goes up again to an astronomical price because of taxes, I'm here to let you know that you can appeal that tax assessment. Just because you get a tax bill in the mail and they tell you that you have to pay such and such in taxes, if you believe that you don't have to pay it, you have not renovated your house has not appreciated, and therefore you are not supposed to be paying more in taxes, you can appeal your taxes, baby. So that's a tip for somebody that might be going through that. But yeah, so remember, rent rises, mortgages do rise. It's a fixed principal payment. Tax benefits, wealth building, and a legacy for your family. Guys, we are moving into an era where the government is going to want you to be happy and own nothing. They want you to be dependent on them, okay? The people that are able to break the matrix and hold some property, that is not only going to benefit you. If you are able to hold a home, pay off the mortgage, because we talked about that. I'm going to start bringing back tips on how to pay your mortgage off, because you can take a 30-year mortgage out and pay it off in 10. Okay. People are doing it every day. You can take a 30-year mortgage out and pay it off in 15 years. You pay that mortgage off. That means if you have children, the only thing your children have to worry about once you are gone is paying taxes. Your children and your grandchildren will always have a home. That is very important for families. And let's just say, for example, your kids or your, whoever you leave that property to, they don't want to live in that area or live in the area where your house is. At least what they can do is sell the property that you left them and buy a house in an area that they want to be in. Okay. I know that I'm going to make that a prerequisite for my children. Any real estate that we leave behind, me and my husband leave for our children, they are welcome to live in that house forever, because we're going to leave it with no mortgage, or they can take the equity, sell the house, and use it as a down payment to purchase the house that they want to live in. But my will definitely says that my children will have to take the real estate that I leave them and either live in it or sell it and buy something else. Okay. You will always be a homeowner. Okay. That's just me. That's just me and my family. But that's one of the benefits of home ownership. You are able to create a legacy. You are able to leave a wealth plan for our children. And if you are an African American watching this video, this is one of the biggest reasons why the wealth gap is so broad when it comes to African Americans and everyone else. Okay. Other cultures understand this concept. And for some reason, we're falling behind on this concept. And I don't want to say for some reason, I really believe it's the programming. It's the programming. I opened up the year reading a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. You're going to have to undo the poor, low-level programming that we've all bought into, right? And this doesn't only apply to African Americans, because I know a lot of people of all different ethnicities whose families never owned either. They literally believe that all they can do is rent. And I am here to tell you that that is a lie from the pits of hell. You want to own a property. You want to take advantage. Let's finish up these notes so then I can hurry up and get to the money, because I have some programs telling you guys. I've always told y'all on videos before, if you are someone who has never bought a house before, you have a job, you're paying your rent, you pay your bills, you are a good stewardess of your money, but you just don't know where you're going to come up with a down payment to buy a house. I'm going to share some down payment programs for you guys so that you can take advantage of this free money. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If you live in an area, especially here in the DMV, we'll just use Southeast DC, for example. Southeast DC as a whole was once upon a time known as Chocolate City. It's not so chocolate no more. And in doing my research to gather information for these videos, I'm starting to find out that the down payment assistance programs that are available in a lot of states and a lot of counties and a lot of municipalities, when they are allocated for diverse urban areas, the criteria does not determine your race is not a factor. Okay. There are some, it's like there's one in Washington state, for example, but that gives buyers up to $120,000 to buy a house. Okay. They will give you up to $120,000. And this is for, to help bridge the wealth gap with undesirable or undeserved communities, people of color who were redlined, who were blocked by banks. Banks were not giving them loan. There are government initiatives that are still in place. And you have to do your due diligence to find this money, y'all. No one's going to come and hand you the wealth, okay? Don't sit around being complacent. You got to get yourself up to movement. You got to figure out a way to make it happen. And I know that a lot of times, sometimes you feel stuck because you can only see what's in front of you. But remember, faith, we walk by faith, not by sight. So if you all make your mind up that you are a homeowner, that you will be becoming a homeowner, and then the only obstacle, and you have a job, you're paying your bills on time, you've paid off your credit, so your credit score, I be meeting people that be having like 720 credit score and they're renting. I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? Making 75,000 plus and they're renting. I'm like, come on. There is a mindset glitch in your brain. Okay, why would you pay all this money in rent and you can actually own a home? So I'm gonna bring you out of money, because a lot of times it's about money. A lot of times people don't have the money saved up, and in today's economy, that is very much understandable. And this is why I'm trying to bring y'all the tea, so that y'all can get to this money and apply or work with lenders that can help you get to this money, right? I've said that before. You want to work with the lender that can help you get the pre-approvals to be able to purchase the home that you need to purchase your first property. Your first property doesn't have to be a 5-bedroom mansion or a 5-bedroom, 20-room, whatever. It could just be a nice 2-bedroom condo, okay? Or a nice 3-bedroom townhouse. But you got to get yourself a piece of property to get in the game, okay? All right? So common myths that hold people back. I need 20% down. That's a big myth. I told y'all once we finish this, I'm going to give y'all to the money. Many programs offer 0 to 3% down payment, okay? FHA is the most well-known. My credit has to be perfect. Nope. There are flexible options. There are banks that will work with you. That's why you want to start shopping lenders, figuring out who gives out home loans, talking to those folks, putting together a plan to get you to achieve the goal of home ownership, all right? You can work with the realtor. You don't have to sign an agreement. I give y'all free game every day, every time I upload a video. I am a licensed realtor in DC, Maryland, and Virginia for the last 20 years, and I'm giving y'all free games. Now, unless you reach out to me, I'm not going to refer you to any lenders. I'm not going to make any lender, referrals, because I don't know where you're calling from. I don't know your situation, and all of that matters. But if you contact me via email or by leaving a comment in the description below, or even texting me, I leave my number in the description of almost all my videos, okay? So y'all could get in contact with me. And if you asked, I will send you some lenders information. I will help you search your state or your county to find what down payment programs are available for you. It's easy. This is what I do every day, all day. Okay. My job is to serve my community and help bridge the gap between home ownership. And I love what I do. Okay. So start talking to people that can help you get to what you need. Okay. It's cheaper to rent. Long-term owning is always cheaper. We already discussed this. Mindset of preparation. Start saving consistently, even small amounts. Guys, you have to make a sacrifice. With no sacrifice, there will be no growth, okay? You already know you got to be disciplined, you got to be consistent, and that means discipline, consistency with your money. Even if all you can do is save $20 a month, start saving the $20 a month, okay? Pay attention to your credit health. Every step counts. Don't buy things that you can't afford. Don't finance things that you cannot afford. This car that I'm in, this is my husband's car. I don't own a car right now because I had to sell my Mercedes because it was constantly in the shop. I was like, this car, it has become a money pit. Okay. We went to the dealership. I sold the car. I had like $7,000. We went to the dealership. I was like, all right, I'm just going to get, something reliable. It's not going to be flashy, but I thought I could find something used on the dealership that, would last maybe 2 years. Give me like a 2-year, I don't want a car note, because I know that right now with the car note, I am not going to be able to save as much as I can, because we want to purchase another property, and we also want to pay off the home loan and the house that we are in right now. So I am making the sacrifice of having to share one vehicle, me and my husband. Okay, if you are a married couple, make these sacrifices together to lower your monthly costs so that you can save more money to reach the ultimate goal. That is okay. Okay? It is okay to live below your means. That's probably where you want to be, especially in today's economy. Okay? So, why is it worth it? Security, a place that's truly yours, freedom, wealth. Real estate is one of the fastest ways to building generational wealth. Final motivation, believe, plan, and act. Home ownership is not just for lucky people. It's for prepared people. That's what I've been telling y'all. I'm trying to get y'all prepared out here, okay? Every step you take today puts you closer to your keys, all right? If you can dream it, you can achieve it. And I am here to help you. Y'all, let's get into these down payment assistance programs. Many states offer grants or low interest loans for down payment and closing. The more you know, the more you can ask for. If you are in Virginia, for VA buyers, Virginia Housing Down Payment Assistance Grant will give you 2 to 2.5% of the home price for down payment assistance. That is a large chunk of money that they are going to give you that you can use towards down payment. California, they have something called Cal HFA, My Home Assistant Program, offers deferred payments on junior loans. These programs often forgive the loan after you lived in the home for a certain number of years. We have tons of grants and down payment assistance programs like that. Bank of America, Community Affordable Loan Solution. The Bank of America has a program right now with no down payment, no mortgage insurance, that's major, and minimal closing costs. Y'all, if I were you, I would be on the phone right now with Bank of America trying to figure out what I need to qualify for this, okay? And then I would start putting my ducks in the row to get that qualification, all right? It's available in many states and can work with FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional loan. Best part, the assistance is often fully forgiven after a few years. I believe it's 5 years, okay? But this is major. The Chenoa Fund. The Chenoa Fund is offered in Maryland. This one is statewide, and I know because I've seen buyers that I've worked with get this grant. This is a national down payment assistance provider that works with FHA loans, offers 3.5 or more towards the down payment help, meaning you can buy with zero of your own money. Ask your lenders. The reason why I'm emphasizing on ask your lenders is because a lot of these programs, if you don't vocalize it, the lender isn't going to offer it to you because every lender may not be approved with the state to offer these grants. A lot of these grants or low interest loans, the lender has to be an approved lender to be able to offer this program. So if you call a lender and they tell you, no, I'm sorry, we don't do the Chenoa Fund. Thank you. Can you refer me to a lender that does? Sometimes they will. And if they don't, that's when you have to start searching, going in and looking Chenoa Fund in the state of Maryland, Chenoa Fund in the state of Virginia. What lenders offer the Chenoa Fund? Because you have information that other people don't have that's going to open up access to these grants, okay? Some programs under Chenoa forgive the loan after 36 months of on-time payment. Again, you are already a good stewardess. You are already paying your rent every month. You get up every day, you go to work, you pay your bills, baby. This is your sign to level up, okay, and finally become a homeowner because you can take advantage of programs like this that are going to give you money so you don't even have to use all of your own money to buy a house and start building equity for yourself. All right? I'm dropping nuggets, y'all. Okay? So, specific first-time home buyer program. Almost every state has its own first-time home buyer program with grants or second mortgages that are often 0% interest. Maryland has the MMP. I've spoken about that. Texas has Sweet Texas Loan Program. Many of these programs can be stacked. You might qualify for more than one. Imagine that, and get extra help. So I want you guys to have the right expectation. When you get approved for these grants, they're not going to hand you the money, okay? The money goes to the title company to be applied to the money that you were supposed to bring to the table. So the money might go to the lender, and then from the lender, it goes to the title company, or it goes directly to the title company to cover your closing costs, down payment, or even assistance to pay for a broker, because in today's market, the buyer is responsible for paying the broker. So these programs, sometimes I know when I bought my house, I got money back. And I've seen that happen with other buyers that have used various down payment assistance programs. I don't know, so you have to just check. When you're in the process of buying the house, when you get closer to closing on your home, they're going to send you they used to be called a HUD, but now it's an ALTA, which is the final document that's going to talk about all of the charges in the transaction and how much the buyer has to bring to the table, how much the seller is going to get paid. And if you have any money left over, it will be credited back to you. If they can't, because it's a government funded program, if they can't credit the money physically back to you, what I've seen a lot of title companies do is that they'll pay your HOA fees for the year. They'll pay your taxes in escrow. So the money will be held by your lender and they'll just be paying your taxes. So that makes your home monthly payment, your mortgage, a little bit cheaper for the first year of purchase, or sometimes even 2 years of purchase. When I bought my house, part of the money, because I guess they could only give you back so much, they paid my HOA fees for 1 whole year. I did not have to start paying my HOA until year 2 of living in that house. So these are things I'm just sharing with you guys to help motivate you to get on board with becoming a homeowner and to start shaking off those low vibrational cobwebs of conditioning that we are suffering a lot right now in this market, because fear mongering is at an all-time high. People are feeling stuck. There's all this media that's making you think that the world is falling. I did a video prior to this one talking about how, Trump already wants to slash interest rates so that we could have more buyers. Jerome Powell, which is the head of the Federal Reserve, he would much rather interest rates stay higher because he wants to eradicate inflation, because there is a possibility you lower interest rates, the demand for houses is going to go up, which means prices of the homes will go up again. So does it really help anybody? It's like, even if interest rates are high, but prices are high, we're still going to have an unaffordable crisis, right? So, but what I'm saying is that the government is actively working to get us out of a recession. We're not in it, but things are looking like we're getting there. But they're actively working for us not to be there. But if you turn on the news or you to look at social media, you'll start thinking that we are already in a recession and you don't want to buy nothing, you don't want to touch nothing, you don't want to go nowhere. Hey, this is your reminder to start living your life. This is your reminder to put your big girl panties on, go to work every day, try to get a raise, try to get promoted, try to make more money. If you can't get it on your job, let's get to work on our side hustles and let's put our posture back on as winners, as go-getters, as abundance seekers, and be confident in that. And anytime somebody come around you low talking, low vibrational, poor talk, just excuse yourself from the conversation, okay? Come back here to Vicky Koger's channel and let's vibe out. And I hope that I continue to bring you guys this awesome information and motivate you guys and keep you guys inspired to let you know that you are on track to home ownership, all right? Subscribe until we meet again. Bye-bye.